Hey guys, this is Jason Creel and this is the Lawn Care Life. Hey, today's video is sponsored by Jobber. Jobber is a lawn care software that if you need a software to do your invoicing, your scheduling, to receive payments with a built-in credit card processor, check out Jobber. There'll be a link in the description. And I'm also wanted to tell you that I am partnering with Jobber Academy. Jobber Academy is an extension of Jobber, the brand, where you can find resources like articles and videos, and I'm going to be producing some exclusive videos for Jobber Academy coming up, so check out those links in the description. Today I wanted to give you some lawn business advice on being a solo operator. Okay, now some of you are solo operators and that's what you want to do, and maybe you've been a solo operator for over 20 years. For the rest of us, maybe by just default, you're a solo operator at the start because you really don't have enough business to justify hiring anybody. So let's talk about some of the pros and cons of being a solo operator and some ways that you can use that actually to your advantage. Whether you're looking to be a solo operator for the long haul or just, temporary until you get enough business to hire somebody. Okay, so in my experience, I've come to understand that there is a segment of customers out there who are always going to favor the smaller, local, more personal company versus the big national brand or the larger local brand or whatever. So oftentimes when I'm meeting a prospective new customer, they sometimes they'll even let you know when you're talking to them. They're like, you know what, I was using big brand and I just didn't feel like I got the service when I called. It was just, they didn't respond to me. Okay, well, immediately in your mind, okay, this customer was not happy with big brand. They're wanting a local small guy. Okay, so if I'm a local small guy, I'm immediately thinking in how I'm going to talk to him. I say, well, you know what, I'm local. I have a lot of customers in this area, and one thing I do is I make sure my customers have my phone number, that if there's ever a problem, they can get in touch with me and I can respond directly to the situation. Okay, that's exactly what they had a problem with the bigger company, and now you can use that to your advantage as a smaller company or a solo operator to basically provide what that customer is looking for. And I think that's something where even if, like I said, in a town where there's a lot of competition for lawn care business, like I said, there's a certain number of people who are always wanting to favor that smaller business. So I think that gives the small guys and the solo operators an opportunity to get their business going. Number two bit of advice I want to give to the solo operators is, you know what, as a solo operator, quality control should be no problem. That's the problem when you grow and you start hiring employees and the quality starts to slip because you can't oversee everything the employees are doing. The employees don't care as much about the business as you care about the business. Employees don't care as much about your equipment as you care about your equipment. But when you are the solo operator, there's really no excuse not to have excellent work done all the time. Okay, and I think, again, you can use that as your advantage when you're speaking to a potential customer. You say, you know what, well, I tell you, I do all the work myself, and because of that, I'm able to ensure the quality of the work. Right, I know sometimes when you have employees, they're not able to keep the quality work up. So you see how you can use that again when you're selling yourself to a potential customer. It's not bashing the competition. It's simply emphasizing the strengths and advantages of being a solo operator. The number three bit of advice I have for the solo operators is, if you're solo, you got to understand that, you're limited on the amount of customers you can take on. So let's say you're mowing grass. You're doing most of your yards weekly, and so you can do, let's just say, 8 properties a day. And again, that would depend on the size and how far apart they are and everything. But let's just say in general, you could do 8 properties a day, 5 days a week. So you can handle 40 properties for weekly mowing. Okay, so if you're doing bi-weekly on most of them, then you could obviously handle more. But let's say 40 properties a week. Well, it just makes sense to me, for all lawn businesses, just about, but particularly for solo operators. If you're solo and you want to be solo, then why would you not try to get those higher end customers, okay? So there's a segment of customers that's willing to pay more for lawn care service, and there's a segment that want a discount. Well, if I know that I can only handle 40 as a business because I'm a solo operator and I only want to be a solo operator, or at least temporarily I'm a solo operator, the point is, if I have a capped number of what I can handle because I just can't take on any more, then I need to make sure that those are highly profitable, paying customers. You don't want to fill up one of your 40 customers with somebody who's just wanting the grass cut once every 2 or 3 weeks and just wants, don't bother trimming, I just need it cut. What's the cheapest you can do it? Okay, don't waste your spot on that because you have a limited number of spots. So, you know what, I think as a sole operator, because you can provide that personal service, because you can guarantee the quality of the work because you're going to be doing it yourself, it allows you to cater to that person who's willing to pay a little bit extra. And so, if you're able to get 40 to 50 year-round customers who are willing to pay a premium to have things, done right every single time, you can actually do quite well being a solo operator. So, in my opinion, you just got to use it to your strengths, market it to your strengths, and, if you grow, there's a lot of advantages to being a bigger company too. I mean, as a solo operator, the disadvantage is you can't, like I said, you're limited on the number of customers you can take on, and, there's some properties that you're not going to be able to take on. So if there's some huge shopping center that's, $150,000 contract annually, you're probably not going to be a candidate to that, for you just don't have the labor force or the equipment. Well, that's okay. I mean, that's an advantage of a bigger company, that they could go after those kind of contracts. But you do have some advantages as a solo operator. And I'm just saying, if that's what you're choosing to be, or that's what you are just because you're getting started, use those things as your advantage, particularly when you're speaking to customers and the way you sell your services to a potential client. Hope this helps. If you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel and check out these suggested videos. Thanks a lot.